Hey Yesterland fans, I'm Neil, aka the Mundus, and on today's episode of The Toys That Made Sense, we're going over Star Wars Black Series 6-inch, the Star Wars New Hope Cantina Band. That's right, I've got them in studio. We're going to get these guys out of the package. We're going to check them out. We're going to let them have a little jamming session, and we're going to go all over the pros and cons to this figure and bringing the band together. So grab your favorite beverage and snack, and I'll see you guys on the other side. But here's a little peek. Yep, I've got 2 of them here, but in order to make the band, I need at least 2 more. So let's see what this unfolds. So like I said, we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, here we go. We got the Star Wars New Hope Cantina Band in studio, and I'm ready to get these guys out of the package. I want to see how this band sounds getting back together. But before we do that, let's just go over the boxes real quick. Looking at the deluxe figure here, Nolan Cheel, I guess is how you pronounce it, or Nalan Cheel, the model Nodus. I guess he's the frontliner here. We get a couple extra sets of hands. We get all his instrumentation. From what I can tell on this figure, they are the same figure in all of these boxes. Get this neat little graphic of him and the band here playing his instrument. Flipping it around the back, it just kind of gives us a little bit of a story. He's numbered number 5 in this series. We get all the legal mumble jumble. Flipping it around to the side, that's about it. Legal mumble jumble on the bottom, a little bit of a clear window on the top, and that's what you got here. So that's him. Then you're going to need 3 other Figrin D'An's characters. I guess that's how you pronounce it, in order to make the actual Cantina Band, and each one will be able to use different instrumentation, but unfortunately you're going to have leftovers, so that kind of sucks. But if you want to make the Cantina Band accurate, this is what you're going to have to do, and you're going to be left with some leftovers here. So kind of sucks, but it's a smart strategy and marketing strategy on Hasbro's part. So especially the Black Series team that put this together. So yeah, there you have it. Basically, he's the same as these 2 over here. We see him playing here. It looks kind of like an electric sax, if you will, or whatever you want to call it. And then it gives his little detail here in his backstory. He comes in at series figure number 4. And like I said, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these all say number 4 on them. But anyways, that's the band in the box. Let's get them out and let's let them jam. All right, guys, here we go. We've got them out of package. And let me tell you, right from the get-go. Now, I know the Star Wars Black Series figures have a tendency to run real light. And I'm going to tell you right now, these guys are very, very, very light. And they are very, very top-heavy. And a lot of their feet, if you will, and their ankles were warped. I really had to play with them to get them back in line. Excuse me. Excuse me. I didn't mean to cough into the mic there. But, yeah, these figures are very light. The articulation in the elbows and the posing of the instrumentation was really hard to get, because every time I went to set them up, they'd fall down. So keep in mind, when you set this piece up, the band up, I would really strongly recommend some kind of foot stand. I don't know, a little bit of putty, something to keep them up, because they're pretty top heavy. But overall, the cosmetics of them and the look of them, when you're going to put them together, it's going to be awesome. They make up the great band. And I apologize now, there is a 5th figure, the drummer, right? The drummer was the deluxe figure, if you will, and I forgot about the other guys. And so I had to open up the extra one. My brother-in-law generously gifted us to the channel to do a review, but these toys do not belong to me. I'm doing a review on them and for him. So overall, man, these things look pretty damn cool. I mean, when you put them in a nice pose like this, and I tried to go as film screen accurate as possible from whatever you want to call this guy, the maybe like the accordion, and then we got like an electric sax or bass sax, and then we got another sax, a little flute, and we got the drummer in the back. So, I mean, overall pretty cool. With the drummer, you get an extra set of 6 hands here, open, semi-closed, and kind of semi-closed again. But take a look at them. I mean, they put some really good detail into the hands and making them creature-like. Now, as far as removing the hands for the drummer, I had to do that in order to get him to put the drumsticks in his hands. They were pretty easy. They just pop right off that little ball joint, and I mean, it's pretty easy to get those drumsticks into his hand. But let's kind of take a look at these. I didn't pull all the accessories out of the other band members' packs. There was no need to, because you can basically make them up between the two. And then all I needed was the extra 5th figure, so to make the band. But anyways, I'll tell you right now, some of these, you can get the instrument right up on the mouth, and some of them you can't. So for instance, like this guy here, it was pretty hard to get that instrument right in there. I mean, I can bend it forward. That was the nice thing on the heads. You can bend them forward, but when I went to go try and pose them back up, sometimes for some reason, just leaning that head a little off center makes him top heavy. So just keep that in mind. These guys, it's going to be kind of hard. You're going to have to play with it. They just fall right over. So that's kind of a flaw, I guess, on Hasbro's part. But when I go ahead and move him kind of back up, put him back up in that upright position where he's off the instrument, not blowing it, look at, he can stand right up. So if you're trying to get that nice scene effect where these instruments are in their mouths, be cautious with it. They tip over. I'm just going to fair warn you there. But let's get into the figure. I'm not going to do every single one, but we'll just get into it right here. So overall, like I said, the figure themselves, I mean, they're really light, and that head is really, really top heavy. The good thing is, in order to move your figure around or get the position that you want, it's pretty damn good. I'll give him credit on that. He's very flexible. He can turn, you can bend that head over, so the articulation in the head, the neck area is pretty nice. As far as in the elbow joint, it's basic. You're looking at a 45, 360 on the hands, and that's it, guys. And barely a 360. They're pretty tight up there in the joints, which I don't think you're going to want to be doing. In the knees bend fairly easy. They're on a ball joint. The boots, the foot kind of rocks and goes 360 side to side, but not really up and down. And then he sits on a ball swiveled joint in the abdomen, and he can bend over about that as far as he can go, and then bending back, that's about it. So that's the figure in a nutshell. I mean, there's really no need to go into the rest of the figures, but what I will do is let's get into the accessories. So let's get him back, or I'll set him off to the side. Pretty decent instrumentation design, pretty much film accurate. You can pull this apart. You can put it back together. It's pretty basic. The paint on them is pretty light, if you will, not really rustic, but kind of brushed look on there, and they are bendable. So some of these came, they were kind of tweaked, and I kind of had to press them down, and I put a little bit of heat to them just to kind of warp them back to center. On this guy here, his flute is pretty much hard, and the tip or the mouth bit piece, if you will, the bit, it's pretty flexible. So if you have to kind of position it around, I mean, you can pretty much make that happen. But overall, I mean, pretty cool. Pretty cool to say the least. And then moving over here to, whoops, see what I said about being top heavy? These guys are real top heavy. Moving up into him and his accordion-like. One thing that I noticed right off the bat with this piece here that's supposed to clip around to the back, and you'll see a little hole there. This is supposed to just lock right in there, and it does for the most part. But I noticed when I unlock it or try to drape it over the head, if you are not too careful, that thing will pop out, and it's kind of a nuisance there. So you probably have to put a little bit, maybe a little bit of hot glue. I don't know. I wouldn't do something that's going to overly melt the plastic, but see what I mean, how it pops out. It just pops out real easy. It's kind of flimsy, a flimsy design. And this thing is pretty thin, so I would be careful when posing. This thing might break on you. Overall, the instrument's, designed pretty cool. It's tooled neatly, and it's film accurate almost to a point. And then there you go. You got his mouth bit up there. And then moving into I guess another style flute player or bass player, whatever you want to call him. He's pretty cool looking. And yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of paint on there. You can see it, silver, pretty basic. The mouth bit there is pretty flexible, but this is a harder plastic. And then moving into kind of the centerpiece here is the drummer. And his instrument setup is actually pretty cool. For being a deluxe figure, you're getting the other part of the drum and this drum, which is incorporated with the stand and the drumsticks. I don't know if that constitutes being a deluxe figure, if you will. I guess it does because of the accessories, and that's how they packaged it. But it's pretty cool. You can kind of set that up however you want. We'll pull him off here. Drumsticks are pretty basic. They're just drumsticks, and that one just popped out of my hand. Let me get him back into his hand here. And the good thing was he sat on this really nicely. I mean, he didn't fall off. It's designed pretty good. I don't know if it's film accurate because it's kind of hard to see in the film because that scene is so dark. But to set him on it just like that right out the go, he sat down just fine. So let me get these guys set back up, and let's get this band going. Hey guys, I hope you liked that little instrument beat there. Hey guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. And as always, I'll see you in Yesterland.